Hi, you're listening to the My Body, My Story podcast.
Take the time to find yourself and don't get caught up and lost in the day-to-day of everything, because at the end of the day,
This is the 45 over 45 chapter, where we celebrate rule breakers and role models, the women who inspire us to live life our way and to show their sensuality, beauty, soul, and true essence. Here we talk about what it's like to be 45 plus, adjusting to the changes that come with time, and we'll listen to the stories of our participants. If you have an interesting story to share, we'd love for you to participate. You can email us on info@alexandrawalker.com, and that's Alexandra spelled with a KS, or visit our website alexandrawalker.com.
Hi Kyla, welcome to our studio and thank you for joining our project. Tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm 47. I have 3 adult children. I work full-time as a manager of a chain of adult stores across New South Wales. So it's certainly an interesting job. Recently just left a 20-plus year marriage and just finding my own way at the moment. I'm getting there slowly. I've lost 60 kilos. And had plastic surgery, so a lot of skin removal, bought some new boobs. Currently working on getting my teeth done. And just finding my way. I've just moved towns. I've moved from Orange to Newcastle for a bit of a life change about 6 weeks ago, and I'm just settling in now.
Wow. So what made you go through those drastic changes in your life? Like, what was their initiating point?
Look, all my life I've always been the fat chick. Yo-yo dieting. Every 3 years I'll be 120 kilos, I'll be 70 kilos. And just needed to make the decision to no longer be the fat chick. My marriage, I was probably unhappy for a very, very long time, but settled in my marriage because a bit of a mentality thing that, well, no one else is going to want me or I'm going to die fat and lonely. So I did the leap to have weight loss surgery. So I had the gastric sleeve. And 12 months later, because I'd lost so much weight, I had a huge amount of excess skin. And I was single then, and it was all about me, and it was about me finding my way and, working on myself. And I have absolute zero regrets. I feel amazing.
What are you most passionate about?
Look, in my work, obviously being adult stores, the big thing on the work side is breaking down stigma and barriers around sexuality and likes and dislikes and what's perceived wrong and right in anything really of a sexual nature involving toys and everything else. Like it's about normalising sex with people, normalising adult stores and finding your way and all that sort of thing. So that for me in our business is incredibly important. And that's something I want everyone to be comfortable with coming into adult stores and not feeling the shame, that perceived shame and the stigma that supposedly goes along with it, because it's a normal part of life. So, that side of it in my work is incredibly important. Personally though, passions, I'm still finding my way. I don't know. My kids are my life. Albeit they're all slightly unhinged and whatever, but they are what makes my heart sing. So just making sure my kids are happy.
So do you have any interesting or funny stories to do with your work in the adult store? You probably have plenty of them.
Oh yeah, but look, we get all walks of life come into our stores. I think some of the best ones are, people who come in who are visually nervous or, worried about coming into stores. We've got a gorgeous 85-year-old lady who has the most incredible toy chest of toys, and at 85 has the most incredible and active sex life. And some of the stories she tells us about, throwing a leg over and dislocating a hip and whatever, it's just seeing people walking out with the I don't know, I guess you'd say the right toy for the right fit for the right job. But yeah, you get all walks of life in there, but at the end of the day, if your customers are walking out with a smile, they're going home and they're going to end up with an even better smile. So, but yeah, the gorgeous 85-year-old lady, she always pops into my mind, thinking it doesn't matter what age, you can still throw a leg over.
Yeah, right.
So to speak.
So when they walk out the store, they feel more confident than walking in?
Absolutely, yeah. Especially with, first-timers. We get a lot of older women, actually, in their 40s and 50s who've never ever had or used or even thought about sex toys or anything like that, and going through with them and making them realise that it's not all that scary and it's all that fun, and every woman deserves a bit of self-pleasure every now and then, and there's nothing wrong with it. So and that's incredibly important to, self-care.
That's cool. Everyone knows that with age we change, but what positive changes have you experienced with age?
The positive ones, obviously, my weight loss. My weight loss is a really, really big thing. We all have, parts of our body we don't like, and we always focus on them. For me, my biggest positive is taking control of how I feel about myself. Obviously, always seeing myself as, the sad little fat chick. Now, it was only not even 12 months ago I wore a bikini for the first time since I was 6. And that, who cares what people think? You're getting older. You can't worry about what people think. You can't worry about, is that person going to be looking at the bumps on your ass? So, but yeah, for me, obviously with 2 years separated now, realising that, I am getting older and I need to start taking some risks and not worrying, because if you don't take a risk, you don't know the outcome. So for me, my positive changes are a better understanding of myself, more focus on myself, and trying to find that self-love.
Like my favourite saying, take a risk or lose the chance.
That's it. You don't know the outcome if you don't do it.
So what is the biggest challenge you're experiencing at this age now?
My mortality. 47 and going, for me, for some reason, 50 is that number where you sort of like, shit, I'm getting too old. And I'm realising I'm getting closer to that. And I really haven't had a massive amount of life experiences. I want to do more, and I want to just get out there, really, and make the most of it. Because it is that in my mind, I'm like, and it's hard not to, but like I'm getting towards 50. 50 in my mind seems like, oh, you're turning 50. And I want to continue, and I want to just go out and explore and just live, live the rest of my life and not have regrets and do everything I want to do.
Yeah. Do you think it's this fear of, as you said, fear of mortality that makes you suddenly think that what have I done with my life, and I've been here for nearly 50 years and haven't tried this and that, and that's the reason for many women just to rethink and to change their life?
Absolutely. I've been doing that. Being a mum, I mean, my eldest is 24, my youngest is 20. I have 3 kids. and they are such a focus of your life for so long, and they basically consume your identity for a whole large part of your life, and then you just go, shit, what have I done?
For myself.
Yeah, what have I done for myself? Because you get lost along the way, because your family and your house and, at the time your husband and everything becomes your main focus, and you don't think of yourself. And I'm doing that now, and while I do feel a little bit selfish, doing all these things for myself, I need to do them, because we are only on this earth for a short period of time. So I need to start doing my thing and going out and enjoying myself.
And you see how much this social pressure made us think that it's very selfish to think of ourselves, which is really funny. And as even on the plane, they say, put the mask for yourself first.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. But it is, I mean, you sort of, from when you're young, you're sort of raised with this ideal that you meet a man, you marry, you buy a house, you have children, they consume, 20 years of your life, and then... but there's not that after that, where, you sort of, people don't talk and think about what happens after that. And
Yes.
I've hit that now, and I'm like, shit, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
I've had 25, 26 years of kids and marriage and house and bill paying, and which is what, is perceived as a social norm, and what the expectation is. But what do you do after that? There's no real, especially, if you're single and navigating that whole dating game and everything again too, there's no rule book or no guidelines with that. So you sort of do get a little bit lost.
Yeah, and you get this identity crisis, like saying, okay, I've been mother, I've been wife, I've been like everything, and then what's next? And then kids grow up, and you're thinking, and who I am now, and who I am.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I am. But I'm enjoying the ride, I'm enjoying the trip so far.
That's great.
Yeah.
Describe your greatest accomplishment.
Oh, that's a tough one. I was thinking about that. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to leave any massive lasting legacy or, have my name in lights or anything else. But, to get my 3 children to adulthood, I'm very, very proud of. They all function most of the time. That makes me smile. Obviously, the changes in me with my weight loss and all my plastic surgery and things like that. And I think my role as general manager for a chain of stores, for me, work-wise, is a really, really proud achievement. I'm very proud of where I am in my work and what I do for the company. And I always take a huge amount of pride in my work. But at the end of the day, it's my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are our legacy.
Yeah, they certainly are.
What advice would you give your 30-year-old self?
Don't eat that extra donut. That was my problem. Get the basic stuff. Don't smoke. I'm still a smoker, which is terrible. Moisturise, moisturise, moisturise. And you need to take the time to find yourself and don't get caught up and lost in the day-to-day of everything, because at the end of the day, back then, I probably would have had a different outcome. I probably wouldn't have stayed in my marriage as long as I did, and I did that because that's how I felt I needed to do. So as my 30-year-old self, just take the time to keep yourself happy. And sometimes along the way you might make other people unhappy, but at the end of the day, your own happiness is the most important.
Right. So what advice would you give to younger women who will eventually undergo these changes?
Try and embrace them. Don't miss the changes. Don't all of a sudden become 47 and go, I was only 30 2 years ago. Enjoy the ride. And spend time on yourself. For me, look, if you don't want wrinkles, have Botox. If you don't like your boobs, buy new ones. If you want those shoes, buy those shoes, but you have to do it for you and not for anyone else. So at the end of the day, you need to just make sure that you are putting yourself first and focusing on the changes and looking towards what you're going to do in the future. Don't miss it.
So where do you think the idea of perfect body image comes from?
Oh, yeah, look, it comes from when you're a little kid, really. One of the things I think growing up, you always see your mums and your friends' parents and things. I'm too fat. I don't look good in these clothes. I'm overweight. Parents always dieting, things like that, which give that perception that if you're carrying a little bit of weight or doing any of that, you're not ideal. And now with social media, of course, everyone looks $1 million. And if they don't, they're called out for it. They're called out for being overweight or not perfect or whatever. But it's social media, even things like your simple marketing catalogues that come in the mail from Kmart. They're all the perfect shape and they all look brilliant. And it's in everywhere you look, there is perception of the perfect body.
And as a photographer, I know exactly that even models, they don't look perfect. And with all this retouch done, everyone can be look much better than they are. But truly, like, no one looks perfect. Even models get retouched.
Absolutely, yeah. But it's that retouching, and we're seeing that all the time and going, that's how we're meant to look. That's how it's meant to be.
And it's interesting that old days, I remember that if you were slim, you considered to be unhealthy. Like, you had to be fed all the time, and like, if you're in a good weight, it means you're in a good health.
That's right, exactly, yep.
And now it's changed, completely opposite direction.
Yep.
So it makes me think that it's also, as you said before, you have to decide what is good for you. Yeah, what is your perfect body image?
Yep. What makes your heart sing?
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
So if you feel comfortable in 70 kilos, just be it. Or if you feel comfortable in 90, just be it. Or you have to lose only because you don't feel comfortable in this weight.
That's right. But you have to be doing it for yourself, not for what you think people are looking at you and judging you as. It's got to be for yourself, not to portray an image to someone else.
So what was your decision made, was based on when you decided to go for surgery? Is it like a health reasons, like you were not feeling good, or was it
Absolutely. No, it was more,
psychological?
the simple little things like bending over to tie up your shoelaces. I couldn't do it. Cut my own toenails. It was a challenge. Trying to find something pretty to wear when you're a size 22, 24. It's very hard to do. But more so just for health reasons. Because I was a big yo-yoer, up and down in my weight all the time, it's not good for your body. Yeah. Trying to walk down between two cars in a car park and having to judge whether or not you'll fit down between them. So for me it was a lifestyle thing and for my health, not for what people saw me as. Yeah, it was for myself.
What does it mean to you feeling good and looking good? What do you think comes first?
Oh, I think it goes hand in hand. With me, when I'm dressed up or going out and I look good, I feel great. But feeling good in myself also gives me that extra motivation to make myself look good. I like looking nice now, and I like getting dressed up, and I like feeling pretty. And it goes hand in hand, looking good, feeling good for me. If I'm having a down day, which we all do, if I'm having a I hate the world day, I make that extra effort to put something pretty on, or to do my hair different, or put that little bit of extra makeup on, because if I look good, then I start to feel better. So it works together for me.
So what makes you feel the most beautiful?
I don't know yet. I'm still working that out. I don't know. I'm navigating the Tinder train at the moment, which I'm having a huge amount of fun with. I've had instances where I've met someone for the first time and you can see in their eyes, they go, oh, she's all right. You know, that makes me feel really good. Yeah, it does. It makes me feel really nice. That little bit of the things I've done for myself can also be admired by other people. I mean, that's not what I did it for, but, you know, that someone else finds me attractive.
If you have one, what is your favorite quote about being a woman? Or maybe it's not a quote, a saying or thought.
My big thing, which I've taken on board hugely over the last few years, is just take the risk. Because if you don't take the risk, you don't know what's going to happen. You'll never know the outcome. So like today, I just take the risk because you won't know if you don't do it.
Well, excellent. Thank you, Kyla, for joining our project and coming here and answering our questions. And I hope you will enjoy this experience today. And we'll see you at the after-shoot interview.
Thank you.
If you have an interesting story to share, we'd love for you to participate. You can email us on info@alexandrawalker.com, and that's Alexandra spelled with a KS, or visit our website alexandrawalker.com.